odds pretty high that your starters are all going to come out of this spring group, or you think there's somebody a chance?
I think there's chances we could take it into fall camp. We, in terms of specialists, we chart everything, and we'll have some numbers at the end of spring to say, here's where we're at. But I wouldn't be surprised if, at the end of spring, we said, hey, we still need fall camp, to make our decision.
Your linebacker group in particular, what do you like about them, and what do you?
I'm really excited. Obviously very excited to coach a guy like Sky Moore. A guy who's had a great career here for 3 years. Had the unfortunate injury last year, but to get him back, the things he can do athletically, will help us tremendously. Bryson L. Williams, a guy who I think is going to make a big step forward from really playing linebacker last year for the first time. That can really take a big jump forward in terms of his understanding of the position and the things we ask him to do. And then T.J. Brunson, I think people kind of maybe forget that he was a true freshman. He played a handful of snaps for us on defense, played a bunch on special teams, and so he's going to make big gains. And he's a competitive guy, he's a tough guy, and we're excited about him.
How disconcerting though is going to be the lack of experience depth behind those? You obviously got a pretty good top 3 guys.
Yeah, we have experience. We lack it a little bit in depth right now. Until we can get those guys.
Backups aren't all going to be true freshmen. Obviously, with the 2 guys transferring, all your backups are going to be true freshmen, right?
In the majority of what we do, we play 2 guys. Obviously, in our regular package, we'll put 3 on the field.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have to get some guys ready to go come fall camp and come summer and all that. But I'm very excited about the 4 guys we're bringing in. They all can run. They all love the game of football. They all like to hit. So, those guys are going to be just fine.
As you mentioned, all guys can run at linebacker.
Yep.
The linebacker position is either more than any other position with the proliferation of all these spread offenses. The linebacker position has changed radically from what 10, 15 years ago.
You don't see the 255-pound, A-gap to A-gap, big neck roll guy anymore. That style of offense has really become phased out, like you said. And so your ability to play in space, your ability to make plays in space, that's huge. And so, obviously if you can find a guy that's, 230 pounds that can do both, great. But, you take a guy, Bryson L. Williams was 220 for the majority of last year.
Yeah.
And played very well for us and did a lot of things for us. So,
is it more important in today's football with all the spread offenses? Is it more important for a linebacker now to be able to pass coverage as opposed to be able to stop the run between the tackles?
No.
Both equally important.
Yeah, they're equally important. If not, stopping the run's our number 1 goal. And so, we've got to improve on that this year. So we never lose sight of that. But the style of run that you're getting is the body types we have are equipped to do that, and to stop that style of run. So we're still going to be physical. We're still going to, play downhill and all that.
What do you expect since he hasn't done much for over a year, right? His first couple of weeks here of spring practice, he's going to fight off being a little bit too passive, tentative, and he's got to trust the fact that his neck is 100% healthy and he'll be able to hit the first tackle he makes.
Probably that first padded day will be some questions, but this guy's a competitive kid.
Yeah.
He's a guy that has made a lot of tackles and done things physical for a lot of years, and so whether you compare it to riding a bike or whatever it might be, he's going to be just fine. And his ability to run and hit, I'm not worried about.
Well, T.J. Brunson now being asked to step up and become a starter now, and become a full-time guy.
Yeah, I think the experience he got last year will help him. Will help him gain confidence through the spring, through fall camp to be that guy for us. He's a smart kid. He's a competitive kid. He's a kid that takes a lot of pride in doing his job. So it's not too big for him. It's he's right in the thick of it and excited to do it.
I think one of the linebackers he signed is a JUCO kid. So obviously, coach always saying he signed JUCO kids. You want them to come in and compete right away. So is he a guy that you want to step up right away and be able to play?
Yeah, I think you see, whether it's junior college or a true freshman, I think you see more young guys playing nowadays. We last year, I think we're tops in the country in terms of the amount of freshmen we played. And so kids are more mature nowadays. They're coming in ready to play. Eldridge Thompson coming out of junior college, we expect to be ready, but those expectations are no different for Sherrod Green or Damani Staley or Devon Bowen. We need guys that want to come in and compete right away. So,
Is Staley, obviously, he has his legacy here at the Gamecocks. His father was a pretty good running back here. He was a very popular player. I mean, it's going to be difficult for him maybe initially perhaps to live up to the fans' expectations. Well, he's a Staley. We're expecting him to be as good as his dad was.
I think Damani's got expectations of himself
Yeah.
and of his own game. And, he doesn't play running back, so that probably helps for starters, But, I think Damani's his own man. He takes a lot of pride in his last name and who his dad is and all that. But, he wants to kind of create his own legacy here. And that's exciting for him.
Besides dealing with all the change on linebacker, you can deal with a lot of change on special teams too. Man, how's the place kicker is being asked to replace a guy who's the school's all-time leading scorer and hit like 80% success rate. So no big challenge there. So right now, who are the contenders for the place kicking job, and how's that battle sort of shaping up?
Sure, those three seniors set the bar very high.
Yeah.
Which is what you want, I think, as a guy coming up next. Alexander Wozniak's a kid that I think has a bright future as a place kicker. He got a chance to redshirt last year to be in Elliott Fry's hip pocket and see how he works and see how he performs on game day. So that's exciting. Michael Allman, Joseph Charlton, in terms of punting, are going to compete. Michael Allman obviously stepped in the bowl game last year and hit 2 punts about as good as anybody could hit them. So that's exciting. But Joseph has a lot of potential, and is a guy that's going to compete right there with him. Go ahead.
Is the field goal job, is that Alex's to lose this point? Who's he
I think Allman's a guy that can duel, combo guy that can go compete. But I think Wozniak, is a guy that needs to day in and day out show that he's the guy. And if that's the case, it's his job to lose. But we're still in the process of hopefully bringing in some guys to compete with him as well.
How important was it for Allman to get that experience in the bowl game?
That was huge,
Kick in front of 40,000 people.
Yeah, and really unexpected. It was an unfortunate deal, and it was kind of came up late, and so for Michael to go out and, hey, bud, you're the starter, you're going, and for him to go and perform the way he did was great. And Joseph's a kid that's, like I said, going to compete right there with him every single day.
Yeah, also local people don't know Charlton because he's in Florida.
Sure.
From what I've seen in practice, look like he has a strong leg. Has sort of consistency sort of been an issue with him?
That's the biggest question with him, and just putting it all together. Joseph has a freakishly strong leg. For him, it's showing the consistency day in and day out.
Right.
It's cleaning up some technical things that he's really dedicated himself to since the season ended, and so he's excited. He's a different guy. I'll say that right now. That he's a different guy.